Wow, the weather has certainly changed in the last couple of hours. I'm outside waiting for it to snow. It's Friday afternoon. Just 2 hours ago it was sunny, and now I think it's snowing. It is snowing. Hardika. Well, thank you for being here. Now let's watch the show.
And welcome back to another episode of Armchair Talks. Now, I was going to talk to you about an interesting topic, but I hadn't collected enough information for it to be a good one. No. But this morning I received a message from someone on Facebook asking me for their help. Yeah. They quote, "Hello, sorry to message you." Now, this was 6 o'clock this morning. "I wanted to ask if I could, as a New Zealand citizen, travel and marry in Turkey. Cheers." Now, I had no idea who this person was, but after doing a couple of DMs and exchanging some names, I told them I could help them by doing this recording. So here we go. Now, before I start, let me explain a few things. I'm not a marriage expert. So if you want any professional advice, I highly recommend that you go and see someone who can prepare your sovereign marriage forms. Or you may want to visit one of your local registered offices in your area. So like I said, every case is different. I'm a New Zealander living here in Turkey with a residence permit. I'm not visiting Turkey to get married. But you still need to follow the rules. So this is my talk about how to get married in Turkey. Yes, so marriage is a special bond between two people who are deeply in love with each other. But first, a relationship needs to be developed as the building blocks to a good relationship, so true love can be blossomed. Now, the next thing you need to do is apply for an apostille online. Now, if you're a foreigner traveling to Turkey, or you're a foreigner already living in Turkey and you want to get married, this is the first thing you need to do, right? Now, it's a certificate that's given to you by your country allowing you to marry in another country. Now, the Turkish registered office that marries you requires this by law, right? So they can do a background check on you, make sure that you're not already married, you haven't been in jail, right? Or you don't have any health issues, right? So that's what a apostille document or certificate is, right? And I applied for mine online from New Zealand, and I think it cost me 270 New Zealand dollars. The next thing you need is a current passport and a visa, depending on where you're coming from. Like New Zealand, we don't need a visa to come to Turkey, right? You have to check that up online. Is it free visa waiver countries? I think that's how you say it. But you have 3 months here in Turkey, and after that you have to apply for an extension with the Turkish Immigration Department. Now, this can be done online, but there is a waiting time, okay? And this will give you a residence permit. Now, you can have 6 months, a year, or 2 years residence permit here. But there's lots of things you need to do to apply for that, right? But I'll put information about that on another video I've done below in the description box. Now, the next thing you need to do once you're in Turkey is you've got to have your passport translated into Turkish. Now, there's a lot of government departments around here, Notary departments, right? And they can translate any documents into Turkish. Now, you need this if you're going to get married. Now, if you're living here in Turkey, you also need a proof of address of where you're staying. So if you have a spouse, if your spouse is Turkish, okay, they need to go in and represent you, saying this is my partner, and that's their name, and they're living here, right? And they'll stamp the document and they'll sign it, right? It's proof of address. So there you go. So you need your passport translated into Turkish and proof of address. That's if you're staying here. That's if you're living here. Now, the next thing you need is you've got to have 6 current passport photos. It doesn't matter if you've got too many, because if you've got a couple left over, you can always give one to your spouse and they can put it in their purse or their wallet. Now, after that, you'll need to go and see a doctor for a checkup. and also get a chest x-ray and a blood test to make sure that you don't carry any hepatitis or AIDS. Right? So, and they all need to be signed by a registered doctor from Turkey because all tests need to be written in Turkish. Now let me think. If your partner's Turkish, okay, they will also need to get a checkup as well, except they don't need to apply for a Apostille Certificate, but they need to hold a current Republic of Turkey ID card. If they ain't Turkish, I guess you'll need to contact your embassy, okay, and ask them for some advice. Now, once you have all your paperwork in order and you've made an appointment with your embassy, now depending on where in the country, in Turkey your embassy is, now it's more likely to be in Ankara, right? You go there, you fly there, you drive there, however you get there, you go there. Remember, you only got 3 months or 6 months to get this done. Once you're there, they'll look at your apostille forms to make sure that, yes, this is you, because they're witnessing you as a person, that you're representing yourself. They'll witness, yes, they'll sign a piece of paper and they'll stamp it. This will cost $150 in cash. You'll get a receipt. Then they'll ask you to go to the Turkish Foreign Affairs building. You'll take those papers and then you'll make an appointment with them. You can do it straight away, do it on the spot. Now, you have to get that also stamped and signed by them. You must get it signed. If you don't get it signed, you'll never get married, right? Those papers need to be signed. Now, when I went, they didn't want to sign it. So I pleaded with them, said, we need to get it signed. We're flying out in 2 hours, and if we don't get it signed, we can't get married. So they signed it. But they made sure that we were the last ones in line. We had to wait and wait and wait for hours. Anyway, we got them signed and we headed back to Istanbul. Now, the reason why you have to have your paperwork signed at the embassy is because Turkey doesn't understand the law. It's a British law, right? Having something signed, right? Or having something witnessed. They don't understand that law. It's not in their law books. So there's nowhere to get that done except the embassy or someone from a government agent from your own country who may be living, who can represent you as a witness, or you could use a lawyer, a European lawyer who understands that law, who works in Turkey, that is registered, right? So, but anyway, once you get back to wherever you are living or staying in Turkey, you must go back to your the registered office where you're going to get married. You take all your paperwork there, but don't give them too much information. Only give them the stuff that they require, okay? You don't have to give them things like your birth certificate or tell them who your mother's name is or your father's name, but they may ask you. Once you've done all that, they'll ask you to go to the police station. Now, you need to go there to register yourselves. So they'll put your names into the system, and they'll give you a piece of paper. And you take that back to the registered office, right? And then once you've done that, then you make your appointment on the day you want to get married. And when you leave, you go to the cashier, you pay. I think it was like 17 Turkish lira. I can't remember what it was. Now, on the wedding day, you've got to have a witness. You can have family members that are here in Turkey. If you don't have any witnesses, you could ask someone at the embassy to witness your marriage. That might be a good thing, because if you want to make your marriage legit for your country, or you want to register your marriage in the country that you live, it may be a good idea to have someone from the embassy to witness your marriage. And then that way, if you're living in New Zealand and you're getting married in Turkey, if someone is witnessing your marriage in Turkey, you can get registered in New Zealand. Now, we didn't do that. It doesn't mean our marriage isn't legit. Our marriage is registered here in Turkey, but we can't get it registered in New Zealand. Now, we can, but it will cost us money, of course. But we can go to New Zealand and we can say, yeah, we're married, and they'll see you that we're married because we have the papers, right? But we can't have it registered in New Zealand as a married couple. But we can in Turkey. It doesn't matter. So there you go. So that's all the things you need to do if you are getting married in Turkey. And thank you very much for watching this this episode of how to get married in Turkey. And I hope I didn't bore you. But anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'm going to put this video together now, so it's all ready for tomorrow. So have a wonderful weekend, and thank you very much for being here. And if you haven't done this already, please subscribe to us. And I'll see you again next weekend. See you later. Look at that. Put my hand out there. Look there for. You see the snow? Oh, it's snowing quite hard too.